What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about macros. What the heck are macros and how can you track them? We're going to cover all of that today. But before we get started, I wanted to say thank you guys for all of your support on my very first video. All the likes, comments, DMs, everything, guys. It truly meant so much to me. I'm really enjoying making these videos and I'm hoping you guys are enjoying watching them too. So before we get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe down below if you haven't already, and yeah, let's talk about macros. Alright guys, let's get right down to it. So macros, what are macros? Macros are short for macronutrients, meaning large nutrients. So if we have our large nutrients, we obviously have our small nutrients, our micronutrients. These are our vitamins, minerals, things we get from eating leafy greens, vegetables, and just a well-balanced whole foods diet. So as long as you're doing that, we don't need to track micros. But macros, on the other hand, this is what we do track. And these are broken down into three separate categories. The first category is our protein, and everybody loves protein. Protein's essential for building muscle. It comes from things like chicken, lean red meat, egg whites, protein powder, things like that. So 1 gram of protein is equal to 4 calories. A general rule of thumb for your daily calories, you should be eating around 0.6 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. Now guys, this all depends on your body type, where your starting point is at. Are you a leaner individual? Do you have a trouble gaining weight, losing weight, things like that? So personally for me, I like to stay towards the higher end, around 1 gram of body weight, 1 gram per pound of body weight. Sometimes I'll even go up to 1.1, 1.2 maybe. Anything more than that you don't really need. Now our next category we're going to talk about are our fats. People sort of shy away from fats just because of the name. You really do need fats to maintain your hormones and just keep your body in check. It's also our body's secondary source of energy. I'll get to the main source in a bit. Now, with fats, they're really calorically dense. 1 gram of fat is equal to 9 calories. That's more than double a gram of protein. So you have to be really careful when eating fats. Now, healthy fats come from things like olive oil, nuts, almonds, nut butters, avocados, eggs. For our total calories, we want at least 20% to around 30% of our total calories coming from fats. Now, personally for me, I love peanut butter, so I eat a lot of peanut butter throughout the day. So I try and stay towards the 30% mark. The last category we're going to talk about are our carbs. Now carbs, who doesn't love carbs? Everyone's addicted to carbs. You might not have known what macros are, but you know what carbs are. Carbs are our body's main source of energy. So there are two types of carbs. We got simple carbs and we have complex carbohydrates. Now simple carbs are things like fruit, apples, bananas, oranges, things like that. Simple carbs are really good pre and post workout because our body breaks down the simple carbs real quickly and uses it for immediate energy. Whereas complex carbs, our body breaks those down a little slower, so we have more energy throughout the day. Complex carbs are things like potatoes, whole grains, rice, pasta, oatmeal, things like that. Now 1 gram of carb is equal to 4 calories. So it's just like protein. 1 gram is equal to 4 calories. Our remaining calories are going to come from carbs. So once we figure out our protein and our fats for the day, it's real simple. We can just subtract the total amounts from protein, the total amounts from fats, from our total calories, and we'll get left with a number where we will figure out our carbs. But I still like to stay within about 40% of my total calories coming from carbs. Carbs are essential in maintaining our energy levels and making sure our training in the gym is optimized as much as possible. So you want to make sure you're eating enough carbs throughout the day. Right now, I'm going to clear this board, put up a quick example of what I'm going to eat for the day. All right, guys, now let's get into how I calculate my daily macros. Now, guys, before we get into this, just note that what works for me isn't going to necessarily work for you. There's so many different factors that go into this. How lean are you starting out? What body type are you? Are you a hard gainer? Do you have trouble losing weight? what's your activity level, and what are your goals? For me specifically, my goal right now is to just maintain my physique. I don't want to bulk since we can't go to gyms. I don't want to risk putting on any fat. I also don't want to cut down anymore because I don't want to lose muscle. So with that in mind, my starting weight is 155 pounds, and I've calculated my total calories to be around 2,275. Now first we're going to determine how much protein I should have in the day. So guys, remember, I like to stay towards the higher end of protein. I said you could go up to around 1.2 grams. I'm going to stick to 1.1 gram per pound of body weight. So I'm going to take 1.1 times 155 and I get 170 grams of protein. Now remember guys, 1 gram of protein is equal to 4 calories. So we're going to multiply that 170 by 4 to get 680 of my total calories coming from protein. Now we're going to move on to fats. Now guys, again, fats, you can be anywhere from around 20% to 30% of your total daily calories. I take my total of 2,275 and multiply that by 0.3 for 30%. I'm left with 682 calories. Now, to figure out how many grams of fat we need in the day, remember 1 gram of fat is equal to 9 calories. So we're going to take 682 divided by 9, and we're left with 75 grams of total fat per day. Now, the easy part is carbs, guys. We're just going to take our total daily calories, again, 2,275. We're going to subtract our protein total, which is 680, and then subtract our fat total, which is 682, and we are left with 913 calories. So guys, remember 1 gram of carb is equal to 4 calories. So we're going to take that leftover number, which is 913, divide that by 4, and we get around 230 grams. It comes out to around 228, but I'm going to give myself those extra 2 grams of carbs. My macros for the day will be 170 grams of protein, 230 grams of carbs, and 75 grams of fat. What do I eat to hit these numbers? Guys, I follow if it fits your macros, IIFYM. That means I can pretty much eat whatever I want as long as I'm hitting my goals. I suggest a calorie tracking app. I use MyFitnessPal. It's great. You just put in what you're eating, how much you're eating of it. It does all the calculations for you. It's a great way to stay on track every single day. As long as I'm hitting my protein, my fats, and my carb goals, I can really eat whatever I want. That's pretty much a quick rundown of what macros are and how to track your macros. In the next video, guys, be on the lookout for that because it's going to be our very first full day of eating. So we have some special meals planned for that. But this was just a quick rundown of what macros are. So hopefully you guys have a better understanding of that now. And yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel down below, and in the comments, let me know what you guys want to see next. I would love to have your input into what you guys want me to make videos about. So comment down below what you'd like to see and be on the lookout for the next video, guys. Thanks for watching.